Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that the self-made Madam T.J. Walker, I would call it like a mini series. I wouldn't call. I thought it was gonna be a movie, but it was more like a mini series. Like it had a couple episodes. But that mini series was so good. Like so good. But what was the most important thing for me, and I just absolutely loved, was the fact that Madam C.J. Walker admitted to stealing the woman's Krabby Patty formula. Like, that's all I ever wanted, was people to acknowledge the fact that they stole somebody's idea. And if she really told that woman that she stole her ingredients or whatever, she was a real one for that, because she let her know, like, yes, I stole your idea and I made it 10 times better. That's just like Nas and Jay Z. Like, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. What you want me to do? I put my twist on what you was doing and made it even better. So how can you even be mad? But I understand both sides of it, because it's like I've definitely created things and saw like bigger entities or bigger companies and stuff rip me off. That has happened to me. So I know exactly how it is when like you're a smaller name, you're not really out there like that, and somebody swoops in and does your thing, and then the next thing you know, they're getting recognized for something that they didn't even create or come up with. But that's all a part of the game in being a creator. You just have to keep on creating, and eventually your turn will come up. Like, you just got to stick with it, keep working, and do your own thing. But at any rate, I'm going on a tangent about that. But at any rate, all the actors and actresses were good, with the exception of Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish was on there just frolicking around with this lesbian love interest for the majority of the whole series, and I was just like, like, she was supposed to be Madam C.J. Walker's daughter in the series, and I guess like she was married for a portion of it, and then she started being pursued by this lesbian photographer or whatever. Now, Stan was in the movie. He is my fave, Stan from Martin. What is his real name? People always get stuck and hooked on the character, and they call that person that name for the rest of their life. I think his name is something like Garrett Morrison or Garrett Morris, something like that. But he was so good in it. Like, he really was so good. He gave like a lot of wisdom throughout the movie, which he was so on point with so many of the things that he was saying, and he just had that old head wisdom knowledge for you. Like, he was an ex-slave, and he really did his thing on that movie. But however, it was a super great story. I feel like it was put together really well, and it taught you a lot of lessons as a entrepreneur, number one, as a black woman, number two, and it just put everything into perspective. I feel like for people that aren't entrepreneurs, to just see how it goes and how much people put into being an entrepreneur, and how much you might lose and how many times you might lose before you finally win and stuff. And I just feel like it was put together really perfectly. Like, it is like a little tearjerker a little bit. Like, if I was a crier, like, I don't be out here crying and stuff because like I'm a G, but like if I was a crier, like I would have been letting them go, because it was really like, it really had those types of moments in it, because you could see and feel. Like, I feel like Octavia Spencer really captured her passion to bring this into life. Now, why for me I feel like it was super important, because black women, we weren't really known for anything prior to what she created and what she went about, doing. I'm not going to say she was like the first ever black woman to make money, like a large amount of money, because I don't really know. But I do know that she was one of the first ones that got recognized. Now, the shade in the film was, there was a person in the series by the name of, I think her name was Addie Monroe or Annie Moreau or something like that. But at any rate, it's so funny because I wrote about this woman, Annie Malone. Like, I did a brief synopsis in my book called How Did I Get My Hair about Annie Malone, because I just felt like she was overlooked as far as the business that she built, because Madam C.J. Walker did steal the actual business from her, and I wrote about that in my book. But you get to see a little bit more insight on what went on as far as how their relationship, friendship, frenemy situation went on, and how it played out, and how she played the part in her life. But Addie Moreau, she was the one that she had the hair growth treatment, and she sold it to Madam CJ. Madam CJ wanted to get down with her, but Addie Monroe didn't want her down with her. Like, she was like, you don't got the look, you don't got the touch. Like, girl, no. Because she was big, she was heavy set, and she was brown skinned, and she was just real nasty. Like, they was portraying her to be real nasty, which when you watch these series and stuff, you never know what's really true and what's not. But they were basically portraying it like a light skin versus dark skin thing, which I think is really horrible. And I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen, because it does happen every day. But I feel like it's a thing where somebody made these people feel this way, feel as though that they were special. And I feel like the wedge that's drawn between light-skinned and dark-skinned women makes it even worse. Like, I feel like if we would come together as a people and, you know, as one, like the Black woman, featuring light-skinned and dark-skinned women, then I feel like things would be different. But I don't know, I feel like we got a long way to go with that, because there are some women who feel like they are superior because they're lighter or whatever, and white people absolutely do treat you better when you're lighter. This is a known fact. You may get a different type of role, I feel like, in the movie industry, because that's just like, even in the movie, you know, they were talking about, you know, it was kind of like light skin versus dark skin and heavy versus skinny, but they still, I feel like they still made that a thing in the film, because when Blair Underwood, which was CJ, he was, of course, Madam CJ Walker's husband, but he had this hot steamy sex scene, which, shout out to him. Shout out to him. I don't know how old he is. I don't know his age range or whatever. I need to Google him a little bit. But he was just serving hot chocolate on a platter, and he's just... them dark-skinned men, child. Oh, we gotta have a moment of silence for them. Because Alright, I'm back. That man is fine, okay? But he was in there knocking boots with one of her saleswomen, okay? He was knocking her boots. And then he gonna turn around and, you know, he got caught. That's first of all. But when it was time for him to knock Madam CJ Walker boots, they just did a quick little glance over. You know, they did the little, you know, we about to start kissing, and then they just straight up went to the next love scene. Like, why couldn't Madam CJ get a piece of that, and that was her actual husband? But I don't know if they did that, you know, like I'm saying, I don't know if they did that because Octavia Spencer is bigger. I don't know, but that's just my observation. But, child, the series is amazing, and I think that everybody needs to see it. She split from her husband after she named the company, you know, after him. As you can see, he slept with one of her workers, so that turned out to be a disaster. They end up getting a divorce. He ended up marrying a woman that she caught him in the bed with. Of course, that turned out to be a disaster. It's so many directions that you can pinpoint and talk about so many important things that took place in that film, like how hard it is to be in a relationship and run a business or create a business and entertain somebody else, because somebody is always going to feel slighted. That's just like men. I feel like number one, they're far more sensitive than women, but any little thing that you do that's taking attention away from them, they're going to feel slighted by it. That's just like, this is totally off topic from the movie and everything, but just in regards to men in general. Like, if you meet a guy, everything's good, and y'all dating and everything's fine, and then you turn around and have a baby, this man is going to be sick of you for taking care of that baby. Like, it's so many men out here that's jealous of women and their relationship with the baby. Like, they'll literally hold that against you because you're showing more attention to a person that can't walk, talk, or do anything for themselves for that matter. But they don't see it like that. They just see you showing more attention to somebody other than them. And they're hot to death. But that's another story for another day. Back to the movie. With the whole light skin, dark skin thing, Eddie Monroe was the light skinned one with the long, pretty hair, and the one that thinks everybody wants to be like her. And she made a product that actually worked, and she was selling it or whatever. And she knocked on Madam CJ's door, and she was going door to door selling her product. And at this time, Madam CJ is like a clothes washer, so she's not even doing, anything that's making her a whole bunch of money. But this lady knocks on her door. They develop a relationship from her doing her hair because her hair had fell out. And then, they started doing business. And Madam CJ asked her, can I, get down with you or whatever. Like, she was trying to get down with her, and she didn't want her down with her because she said, look, basically, you ain't got the look, sis, and I ain't got time. Like, I don't have, I don't got time to be dealing with you because I don't know what you gonna bring. You ain't the look, basically. And so Octavia, she got on her little, why I say Octavia? Madam CJ, she got on her job. She tried out a couple of formulas. Now, I don't know how she ended up still in the formula because they didn't show that part. But I feel like Madam CJ, she created her product, she marketed it better, and she did more with the product than Eddie Monroe had did with the product. So I feel like now, today, knowing a little bit more, I don't feel like Annie Malone, which was really, Addie, I feel like she didn't get the recognition that Madam CJ got, because she didn't have the connections. Like, Madam CJ lived next door to one of the Rockefellers. So, like, it don't get no more, it don't get no bigger than that. It don't get no bigger than the Rockefellers. Like, that's probably as high as you can go. So I'm going to chalk it up to her recognition came from, the quality of people that she knew. That's how I think she ended up being recognized and being put into the World Book of Guinness Records for being the first African American millionaire. But I don't know. It was a lot of things in that movie, and I don't know if it's because I'm an actual hairdresser and I run a business and all of that, so it's relatable to me. But I feel like it's something that everybody would enjoy or learn something from. Like, even if you're an entrepreneur in a different field, it just gives you an insight on how things can be for entrepreneurs. So I would definitely say overall it's worth the time to sit down and watch it. If you're not doing it, I mean, everybody's in quarantine, allegedly. So y'all should have plenty of time to watch this Netflix special. It just came out today, and I really, really did enjoy it. And like, I'm a hard critic. Like, I don't like nothing. Like, everybody I know will let you know. Like, I'll be like, like, no, like, that ain't it. Every movie that I see, just about, especially like these black films, because I feel like in the black entertainment world, us blacks, I feel like we just accept anything because the person that was black did it. We gotta stop doing that because that's sending out the wrong message. That's sending out, hey, whatever you do, if you make it, I'm for it. Like, no. So, I mean, you watch it, or if you already did watch it, let me know in the comments what y'all think about it, because I was really, really impressed with this production. And I didn't even know that LeBron James had anything to do with it. Like, he was like the executive producer or something like that. I don't know who else was on the film, but I know that I watched Patty Jackson's show, and she was promoting the movie, and I was, I just do a lot of reading anyway, so I knew that a movie about her was coming up, and I'm like, they just completely kind of like skipped over Annie Malone as far as her history, because she has a really, really crazy story too. And now I'm sitting here thinking, like, after watching that, like, I just flat out, I need to see a movie on Annie Malone. Like, they need to get on this. Like, this is really big stuff for the culture. Like, they should do a film on her as well and let us know exactly, what was the tea with her, because she had a lot of stuff going on with her too, and with her little men. They ain't really elaborate on her too much other than about her product and her moving around and following Madam CJ around to where she was going at and stuff like that. But they really need to do a movie on her too, because I feel like she is very, very, very important and instrumental in the growth of black women as well. Number one, this video is sponsored by my book, How Should I Get My Hair? It is a book about everything that black women do with their hair to date. I created the book because I broke down so many things, so many hairstyles, and so many layers of it to let you know what goes into each hairstyle and what is going to be the most suitable for you as a person, for your lifestyle. And it's just a good book to read to let you know a little bit more about the hairstyles that's out here today. Like, I wrote the book last year, and I plan to do volumes, like updated every couple of years, but this is just the first installment. So if you would like to purchase my book, I will leave the link in the description box, and I thank you in advance. And thank you to all my new subscribers. I see y'all trying to get up there, honey. I see y'all, okay? And I decided that I'm going to name my subscribers my rhinestones, because I love sparkly stuff. So, and I be so happy, like, y'all gotta see me, like, when y'all be coming in and I get the notification, I'll be dancing and everything. Like, I'll be like, okay, y'all, I see y'all. But thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I will see y'all in my next video.